Hey, good afternoon. I want to talk real quick about pensions and the pros and cons of having a pension. I don't know if you're eligible for a pension. Right now, only about 20% of the United States employees are actually eligible for pensions. They're very popular with unions, teachers unions, UAW, Teamsters, the big construction company unions. A lot of the government service unions have pensions provided. So pensions were very popular with unions back, especially 70 years ago, and continuing forward, because the union felt that the employee never really made enough money to save for his future. So they were able to negotiate with the company and basically say, look, we've put in 30, 40 years of our lives to build the profits of this company. You need to help take care of these people because they have not been able to save. So that's why they became so popular with unions. And union employees, even to this day, are notoriously bad at saving money. And I think that's because a lot of them fall back on and know that they have a pension coming. So they just don't bother to save as much as they could or should. My company offers both pension and 401k match, and I encourage every employee to do that. But we lost pensions for new hires back in 2020. So now, instead of a pension, anybody that starts with our company after that date gets a higher 401k percentage match. So instead of getting 3%, which is what I get, my son, who recently hired, I think he gets 5 or 6% match. And of course, now the company or the union will negotiate contracts every time and say, since pensions are gone, we need to increase the 401k match so that these employees can continue to save. Because just like 401k is everything you have is affected by inflation. So even though you might be putting 5% away, since inflation goes up, you may actually really only be saving in real dollars 2 or 3%. So you need to keep that in mind when you're saving. And that's one of the things that also affects my pension, is that it is not affected by cost of living raises and adjustments like Social Security is. So my pension is a flat number. We get a supplement that carries us until 65. The reason we get that is because the company eliminated insurance for retirees, which used to be part of our contract that would carry us until 65. You got 100% paid for insurance for you and your family till you aged 65, and then when you were typically eligible for Medicare. They eliminated that back in 2003. So what they did instead is they offered a supplement to help offset the cost of insurance if you retired before 65. So that supplement covers us until we hit 65, and then we go back to our base pension number. So it's basically, you have two buckets you're taking from. You get your base pension that you get forever, and then you have your bucket of supplement, and that's based on the number that the contract has, and we typically get 1 or 2 increases in that number for every 5-year contract. So we got a bump when we signed the contract, and we have another bump coming next year in 2026, which is when I'm retiring, which is one of the reasons that I'm going to wait until then. 1, I won't have my 30 in until next year, and then 2, I will also be eligible for the bump. So I'll get the most available pension benefit and supplement at that time that's available to the union. But because it doesn't go up with COLA, you have to take that into consideration. Now, I can also, at that time, or when I hit 62 and I'm eligible to take Social Security, I could draw Social Security as well on top of. So I could actually have 3 buckets working. My pension, which is constant, my supplement, which carries me to 65, and my Social Security, which starts at 62 and I can take forever as well. So those are, I could do that, and I don't know that I will, but at the same time, you have to consider the fact that will also be taxed. So if you get your income too high, obviously you're going to be taxed more of your pension benefits. Now, I'm not a tax professional or any kind of a financial advisor. I'm just sharing numbers with you based on my experience. So do your due diligence. If you're eligible for a pension, see what the tax repercussions are going to be. If you take Social Security, is it worth it or not? My wife and I file married jointly, obviously. She will still be working for quite a few years after I retire. And so we have to really consider that, how much my income is going to go, when we put our incomes together, what our tax burden is going to be. So you need to consider that. So that's some of the cons that go with pensions. Here's one of the best pros there is. You have that money coming. Once you start taking it, you get it forever. It never goes away. The only thing that changes is that the supplement amount goes away at 65. So at that point, I'll have my pension bucket that's always there, and then I'll be on Social Security instead of the supplement. So the buckets switch, but it's still 2 buckets, and I'll have those in forever. And then, of course, one of the other pros that I can do with my pension is I can assign that as a my wife as a can receive those benefits after I pass. I have to take a lower amount of the pension to begin with while I'm alive, but then she will get that pension benefit until she passes. And because of my health conditions and stuff that I carry with me into this, I'm going to do that to make sure that my wife is taken care of no matter what. And she's recently relocated to Florida. She's in a union now, but we're still trying to figure out if she's going to be eligible for benefits and how long she'll have to work and what age, etc. So we don't know that she's going to get any of that at all. But because she can get my pension benefits, and then when it's time for her and she's eligible for Social Security, she can get whichever is greater, hers or mine. I'm pretty sure it'll be mine, since I've had 35 years of great wages compared to her 10 or 15, and when by the time she's 65, she'll barely have 30 years of good wages. So mine will probably be better, and then she'll be able to get the best of both worlds. And of course, during that whole time, as long as we're drawing a pension and my Social Security or whatever has that goes, for us financially, it keeps us from having to dip into that 401k bucket as well. So I want to leave as much of that for her and for her extended life as I possibly can. And there's no real reason for us to need it. So anyway, some pros and cons with having pensions. I wish more people were eligible, but like I said, our company offers it, and since we're notoriously bad savers, a lot of our union folks are not prepared either way. They think that pension is going to carry them forever and take care of them, and it's nice money to have, but it's not end all be all. And having that 401k, a nice hefty number, helps. Mine's not near as big as I'd like it to be, just like everybody else, but you can always save more, and if you can, I encourage you to save more. Anyway, thanks again for watching. If you like the content, give me a like, and we'll see you next time.